Here we go. I'm gonna do this one in the heat. We'll see how long I can last. So that's it. I mean, that's it. Saturday morning. Listen, Saturday morning it was Saturday morning cartoons. I don't know what kids got today. What do they got? Cartoon Network? You get like 24 hours of cartoons. Let me tell you something. What a joke. We had to wait till Saturday morning. Saturday morning, you jump out of bed. It was Saturday morning cartoons. You leap out of bed. Mom and Dad are still sleeping. You know, me and my oldest sister, my youngest sister was just a peanut. She was nothing to worry about. As soon as we went into the living room, it was like entering a steel cage match. We're hitting each other with chairs. It was like, you know, oh, I want to watch Strawberry Shortcake. You know, I wanted to watch Silverhawks. And, you know, I want to watch The Littles. Littles wasn't bad. You know, sometimes you get into that thing where, you know, sometimes I'd watch some of her cartoons and, you know, they weren't that bad. The Littles was good. You know, but I wanted to watch Dungeons and Dragons. You know. You had cartoons where you could find the middle ground, like the Smurfs. You know, we could both sit there and shut up and watch the Smurfs, and you know, sit there and be mesmerized by the Smurfs. And why couldn't Gargamel find that Smurf village? That idiot. What'd you have to do? Like walk around a tree 3 times or something like that to get to the Smurf village? I don't know. But yeah, and then the Snorks. Which was like, I don't think we realized it back then, but the Snorks were nothing but the Smurfs with pipes on their head. And then, you know, what was it? And then for the grand finale, and this was like the most emotionally gut-wrenching thing, it was like Pee-wee's Playhouse. It was like you waited all morning for Pee-wee's Playhouse, and you were so excited once it was on. But once Pee-wee's Playhouse was on, you knew that was it. That was the end of the Saturday morning cartoons. And I play that theme song. You know, a lot of people want to know. I don't even want to tell you because, you know, when the video game shelf goes up, that's the ending of Pee-wee's Playhouse, and that has such a strong like grip on me emotionally, because that meant Saturday morning cartoons was over. The fun is over. Then it was Dad, get out and mow the lawn, get out and weed the garden. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, please. But that was it. And then, you know, once that was over, you know, you'd have to go out and weed I know these are long, these are getting real long, but I can't make this stuff any shorter. So, I mean, you know, here we go. So, once you were done with the lawn, it was okay. It was on to the bicycle, because you just had to get the hell out of the house. After the cartoons were over, nobody wanted you in the house anyhow. So you go in my room, and then I open up the suitcase. And all my cassette tapes were in there. And it was just Iron Maiden. That's all I would listen to as a kid, Iron Maiden. And I had all my tapes in there, in chronological order. It was Iron Maiden, Killers, Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, Power Slave, and to give you an idea, the year, we were up to Live After Death. The double live album. Oh. And at the time, I had a Walkman, which was like unheard of. Unheard of. Listen, my household, we didn't really come from money, but we had this woman that would visit our house. She worked in Manhattan, friend of the family. We called her Aunt Connie. And Aunt Connie, every time she came, it was $10 in an envelope. Here you go, to all the kids. Boom, boom, boom. And oh, did we love Aunt Connie. Aunt Connie's coming. Hey, Aunt Connie, hugs, kisses, everything. When Aunt Connie lost her job, she might as well have been dead. It's so evil to say that, but man, that's how kids are. Oh, Aunt Connie's here? Oh, okay. You know, kids are selfish assholes, and that's the bottom line. But they make no bones about it. They don't lie about it like adults do. So that's it. I had my Walkman, and then I would put it in. I'd put in Live After Death, and then that was it. I would hop on my bicycle. And here's what I like to call, okay, the Nintendo had two stages. It was the black box, what I call the black box stage. All right, I had to make an adjustment. There's gonna be a little more noise in here, but it's so fucking hot I can't keep these windows up. So, this is what I call the black box days for the Nintendo. And now the black box days were the early days. So I'd hop on my bicycle, and I had three options. Three people had just got the Nintendo. It was relatively new. We had Steve, we had Rex, and we had Billy. Now Steve's house was like the hub of the neighborhood. His father would go off to the beach in the morning. He was divorced, so his mother wasn't around. House was empty. All the kids used to crowd over there. Steve had Wrecking Crew, and he had Rad Racer. And now I know Rad Racer's not a black box title, but it was just out of the black spot. It was one of the early releases. So you basically have to go there and stand online. You'd fight your way to get to the joystick, and you know, maybe you get a turn or two for the whole afternoon. I don't know. Everybody was playing. It was you know, forget Gorillas in the Mist. You want to go there and you want to film Hierarchy and Alpha Male and Omega Male. You know, you go there and you see who can get to the joystick. That was basically it. Survival of the fittest. Rex had the deluxe set. He had Rob the Robot with Gyromite. I gotta roll up this window. But Rex went to a special school. It was like a school for smart kids on a Saturday. So he was out of the cards till the afternoon. So the only other option was to go to Billy's. And now, Billy wasn't your average kid. For example, Billy's mother worked 7 days a week. Okay, let me give you an idea. Billy's mother smoked about 3 packs a day, and she had a bowling average of probably about 260. So she would go to work, then she would go to the bowling alley. Oh, and Billy's father was in the clink. She would go to work all day. She would go to the bowling alley and get all sauced up and come home late at night. So Billy was raising himself. Knock on the door. The first thing that happens, Billy's in there and he's got pot in a frying pan. He used to grow pot locally, I don't know where, but he used to grow pot somewhere, and he'd be taking the pot leaves and what I don't know much about pot, but he'd be cooking it up on the stove, I guess trying to dry it out so he could smoke it. I don't know. Yeah, so I'd go in there. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. The whole house would be smoked out with him drying out this pot. I'd go right over to his records, and there it was. He had Kiss records, he had AC/DC records. That's it. And his records were like his prizes, right? So I said, Billy, you know, can I put on some music? Yeah, go ahead, put on some music. He had Kiss in there, the Lick It Up, the Animalized days, just before Crazy Nights. But I would put on Alive. I would always put on Alive. I think that's like, maybe it's a nostalgia thing. You know, I'm not a huge Kiss fan, but I appreciate Alive. I think Alive's a great album. I put on Alive, and then it was like, you know, Billy was kind of burnt out on the Nintendo. But for me, you know, I didn't have it, so that's all I wanted to do. So I kind of had to manipulate him a little bit. I said, hey, Billy, hey, let's play Ice Climber. I'll beat you in Ice Climber. Oh, you can't beat me. Rah, rah. Yeah. So he'd come over, and we start playing Ice Climber, and basically all I wanted to do was play Kung Fu, because that was like the hottest game out at the time. Everybody wanted to play Kung Fu. So we play a little bit of Ice Climber. I say, hey, let's pop in Kung Fu. Let's pop in Kung Fu. Or Excite Bike. He had Excite Bike too. Well, let's play Excite Bike. Oh, God, that's the one. No. I think Excite Bike was the one you ultimately wanted to play. Let's play Excite Bike. Next thing you know, we're playing Excite Bike. And then it would go like this. We'd play a little bit of Nintendo. And to understand where Billy lived on the water. And right on the canal there. And right across from the canal was the island. It was called, we called it Indian Island. Sometimes we swim across there. Kids would have parties over there. It was a bird preserve. And then we spent the remainder of the afternoon trying to set the island on fire. We used to shoot rockets. We'd put like toilet paper on the end of the rockets and dip them in alcohol and light them on fire. It was like Roman times. We were sending these flaming rockets over to the island to set it on fire. Or we'd have Roman candles. We were blasting the island with Roman candles. Because every year the island would catch fire. Nobody knows how it happened. A lightning strike, I don't know. And it was like, next thing you know, there was like boats around and fire trucks. They were trying to put the island out. Oh my God, the bird preserve's on fire. But here, me and Billy it's either that or we were making, what are they called? Dry ice bombs. And we'd put dry ice in a Coke bottle, fill it with water, cork it off. And we used to put it in this brick barbecue. The landlord built this like brick barbecue in the back. And we'd stuff it in the chimney of the brick barbecue and blow the fucking brick barbecue apart. And then we'd be like, oh shit, and we'd just put it back together haphazardly. Anyway, then we'd be back in, and we'd be playing Kung Fu. And Billy was good at Kung Fu. I couldn't get off the second level with the pots falling on your head and whatnot. We play Kung Fu, and then it was always some type of mischief. Jude would be out front. The kid Jude was like, he was like the punching bag of the neighborhood. He was like the wise ass kid. Like as soon as he'd get off the bus, he'd give everybody the middle finger, then run, and then we'd all tear off at him, and then kick his ass, and then he'd be crying, and then he'd walk, and as soon as he got like a healthy distance away, oh, fuck you, and then we'd all chase him again and beat him up again. So then Jude would be out front, we'd fill up a water balloon and like blast him in the head. And then and then he'd run home and his mother would come knocking on Billy's door. And Billy would be there like smoking weed and we're sitting there playing Ice Climber like, she'll go away. Billy! We're sitting there playing Ice Climber. Those were the black box days.
Get to the chopper!
Got any video games at all? Any type of video games? Like
Nintendo 64?
Yeah, you got that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
You want it?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. We gotta get it.
Hey. I guess not.
All right. Sorry. It's still all the way upstairs. I mean, I was the only one who used it. Practice. It's not brand new, but obviously.
Okay.
But, oh wait, the thing I gotta give you.
Oh yeah, do you have that?
Yeah.
Have any other games for it at all?
No, I don't think I do. That's the only thing. Oh wait, what's this? Super Mario.
Okay. Was it missing a controller?
No, I have a controller upstairs.
Okay.
I thought it was an extra one though.
Okay. Oh, you found it. Okay.
Yeah, I knew. I saw it. I just thought it was an extra one.
How much?
I don't know. What did they go for? 20?
Take 10 for it?
15?
15?
Yeah. With the
Okay.
game and everything?
Okay.
All right.
Hello, good morning. Do. How much are the video games? $1 each?
Now just open them and please make sure there's actually a video game in there.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing.
That's the only, my kids don't always put things away.
Right. Oops. Oh no.
Or this kid over here. That was very cute, but no.
Get ready to want us to close on her.
All right.
Wait, does the sun change? No, we could sit over here under the. Here's my pretty. Here she is. She slept.
Hello.
Yeah, she just woke up. She slept so late. Aww.
Hello, my princess.
You did. Hello, Graham. I love your hat and stuff.
I like your hat.
Yeah.
She bought it in Disney.
Awesome.
Really pretty, just like you. You're selling Brady's stuff? That's good. Yeah. And on that, did you see that one?
No, I didn't. I was concentrating on.
One more. What were you concentrating on? Oh, you didn't come the right one.
It looks exactly like Sally.
Oh, his Todd?
Oh,
yeah. Go
Somebody got a Mustang over there.
He bought it?
There's
We're
pictures
guessing.
in his yard unless he's holding it for one of his.
No, his brother.
Oh, his brother.
Brother's living with him now.
Brother who?
Hat. They're getting divorced.
Not even Ricky. Oh, I thought it would be Ricky, if anything.
Oh, they were all nuts.
They're all nuts, and he took Pat, and now he talks to Pat. I don't even know who you're talking to.
Todd's brother.
I don't even know.
He was the one married to
Sonic Mega Collection.
Gina. James Russ. James.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
She came to the beach last week.
Oh, bring them and just tell me one.
I got-
they know their products.
I got 18 here. Would you take 15?
Yes.
All right. Hey, good morning. How are you?
There's a Sony PlayStation there, ColecoVision.
Oh yeah.
I have the Atari with 40 games up here. I'm not asking much for any of it.
Where's the ColecoVision?
It's
Oh, it's in here.
yeah, the PlayStation's in here. And you got the
Oh yeah.
all
got
the
a
wires.
Steering wheel for this thing?
Yep. Got the steering wheel. It's got a couple of games. All the wires are in there. There's the ColecoVision console. There's another. I don't know if that's an added console. I never had ColecoVision, so I picked this up at an estate sale. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to
What are you asking for it?
For the whole fucking bag, I'm asking $20.
20?
Yeah, for the whole bag, PlayStation, everything.
All right.
I think that's a fair deal. I see these things going online for almost $100, $80 on eBay. So.
All right, I'll take that.
The Atari, I don't know, make me an offer. Some people fucking collect those too, but they got 40 games with it.
What would you be asking for the Atari?
I mean, I would like 50 for the Atari, but I'll take 40.
Yeah.
But these games $1 a piece on eBay to collectors.
No, I understand.
Any old furniture that I could paint?
It was like, what do they call those people that used to, the families that used to be in charge of the ratings? Like, there was a select group of households they were like called the Smith families or something like that. I don't know, but if you ever watched the show Alf, the family that used to that used to harbor Alf, they became one of those families. And Alf hooked up his spaceship to the machine, to the box on the TV. And he made Polka Jamboree the #1 rated show. And then the government came and they found out. And then the family was asking Alf, like, how did you do it? He's like, well, he goes, I hooked my spaceship to the control box, and I put this, he goes, what did he say? I put the steering wheel to sideways. That show was a trip. Remember when Alf got thrown in prison and they thought he was just a really ugly guy? Fucking Alf, man. Anyway, here we go. Basically, this was it. All right, let me stop. Listen, you guys are complaining that my show is getting too long. All right, I don't know what to tell you. I don't like to speed it up. I can't sit there and rush through it. I get stressed out. All right, so here we go. First garage sale, Nintendo 64 in the box. I asked if she had any video games. She goes, yeah, I got a Nintendo 64 in the house. So I slapped her on the ass. I said, go get it for me, honey. Well, yeah, I don't got much time here. No, so very nice girl. She comes out of the house, Nintendo 64 in the box. Pretty sweet. Tried to get it for $10. She was like, 15. I couldn't say no to those blue eyes. Now, yeah, so there we go. That's a thrill. Listen, that was the first garage sale. And let me tell you something. I went with my wife this week. Normally I go by myself. But I went with my wife. And let's just say that she doesn't really subscribe to our philosophy of like high velocity, vicious, high caliber, atom splitting, gangbusters garage sailing. So it's difficult to go out with her because, the first hour I'm like gritting my teeth, I'm biting my nails. But then you relax and you kind of get into a rhythm and you basically say, okay, I'll spend the afternoon with her and, it'll be fun. And sometimes that works out in your favor. Now, let me just say, there was absolutely no sharks today. No sharks. There was like no people at the garage sales today, which is really, really strange. I don't know why. But, boy, I got to tell you, this next garage sale was something to really get excited about. And now, we picked up a lot of interesting PS1 titles, so, let's check it out. Okay, I would say we picked up about, I know in the video we looked at some 3DS games. They were all empty, which was a heartbreaker because they had, Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS for what? For asking $1 for it. So basically, and some of the PlayStation games that we picked up, I think I counted off 22. In actuality, we picked up 18. And they were all $1 a piece. So here we go. Fear Effect. This is a double disc. It looks almost like a survival horror type of, almost like a Resident Evil takeoff. Silent Hill. I know I've picked up this game before and everybody's telling me, you gotta play that game, Never got around to playing it, but I really want to play it. And I've seen many people talk about this game, and I'm just really curious about it. Mega Man X5. Qbert, I don't know why I do this to myself. Every time I see these old retro games on you know, these newer consoles, PS1, newer console, right? I can't help myself. Qbert's a game that I played as a kid on my ColecoVision. I absolutely love that game, and I was very, very good at it. So Qbert. Star Wars, the Phantom Menace. Bug Race USA, which is a really interesting looking game. Some type of pinball related game. To be honest with you, that's why I picked it up. Just looked like some interesting sort of pinball. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Rayman. My fascination with Rayman started when I got it for the Atari Jaguar, and it was one of the only games that was worth its salt for the Atari Jaguar. So I mean, by the looks of it, it looks pretty nice for the PS1. So Rayman, I like Rayman. Great platforming. Okay. Medieval. Tomb Raider, the Last Revelation. Medieval 2. Shadow Man, which I believe was a movie, if I'm not mistaken, and it just looks like a like some type of first person type of game. Gauntlet Legends. I'm absolutely thrilled to pick up this game. I remember playing this game in the arcade, and the idea that you can play, I believe this is, yeah, 1 or 2 players, you know, that you can play together in this gauntlet style action is terrific. Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness. Lucky Luke. Namco Museum Volume 3. I think I got like 3 copies of this now. But every time I see it, I'm going to pick it up. I just can't resist. Crash Bandicoot. And again, another copy of Star Wars Rebel Assault 2. Now that's it. All these games are in really nice shape. Oh, and also, this is something that's really cool. This is a PS2 Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which has Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I mean, you know, has there ever been a dollar more well spent? I mean, come on. Look at that. All right, terrific. So there we go. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 games. She wanted $1 a piece, but we shot $15, and she accepted that offer. So this was a garage sale. It was very exciting. This one got my blood going, and it would have been a real home run if some of those DS games were in there, and some of those other discs were inside the cases. So there we go. Pretty cool to get some quality PS1 titles. Now this garage sale, I'm so excited about this because, you know, what I like to do is I don't even like to look inside. It was a bag of stuff, right? The guy says there's a ColecoVision in there. I see the ColecoVision. Let me show you. I gotta get all rocket fueled up for this one. Here we go. $20, I would have bought the bag. It's a Ricardo bag from Beverly Hills. So here we go. What a feast for the eyes. The first thing I see is the ColecoVision steering wheel with the gas pedal. Now let me tell you about this thing, okay? Growing up, my next door neighbor Ronnie had a ColecoVision that was decked out to the max. He had the steering wheel. He had the special controllers to play Frontline. Frontline was like this commando type of game, and it had these special controllers with all these different buttons on it. Oh, it was really wild stuff. I mean, and we used to go over there. Ronnie was the guy. He had Playboy pictures all over his wall. He was like an older guy, but he had slot machine in his room and whatnot. I mean, you know, just like the coolest room of all time. Led Zeppelin backstage passes all over the place. Backstage passes to all the like metal shows that were happening in the 80s. Blah blah blah. Anyway, he had a ColecoVision, and I had a ColecoVision, and I always used to borrow his games. But I wasn't allowed to borrow his steering wheel and whatnot. So here it is, the steering wheel, and it's nice. It's in nice shape, you know. It's got the gas pedal there. I am dying to try this thing out. I think it worked with pit stop and turbo. Here we go. There was a PS2 in there. I wish you guys could look inside the bag. A couple of PS2 games, nothing really serious here. All right, all of the wires for the PS2 and the controllers and whatnot. The guy tried to say that you know what's crazy about this garage sale? He's telling me the PS2 is worth $100. He's telling me that the Atari's worth $40 with the game, well, $50 with the games and the Atari, and then he's telling me the Coleco is worth $20. But you know something? In all reality, he might have knew more than me. 'Cause now that I'm looking at this, here's the ColecoVision, less the controllers, and that I didn't even notice. And to be honest with you, it's filthy dirty. I have no idea whether or not it works. And to be honest with you, you know, if we're going to get this thing running, we're in it for a really, I think, expensive AC adapter. But moving along, the other really exciting thing, well, let me tell you, the other really exciting thing in here was the ColecoVision expansion module, which plugs into your ColecoVision and allows you to play Atari 2600 games on your ColecoVision, which for a collector I think is a real home run hit, because you don't have to fuss with the additional console of having the Atari 2600. This is a real room saver, and to be honest with you, I was never really particularly fond of the 2600. So to have this, basically a 2600 branded ColecoVision is terrific. Okay. Now, the other thing that was in there is Pokemon Heart Gold version, but it's empty. And I'm thinking maybe it's somewhere in this bag. I'm going to tear this bag down and find out if we got it or not. Okay. I think two ColecoVision games in here. Turbo, which I think is the game that uses the steering wheel controller. And one of my favorite ColecoVision games of all time, Ladybug. This is, I guess some would say this is a Pac-Man variant, but a Ladybug offers a lot of interesting, different, I guess, roads of gameplay that you can build points and stuff like that. Ladybug's a little more involved than Pac-Man. Really, really solid game. Okay, and then there's some Atari games. Oh, look at this! I didn't even. Another PlayStation controller. Some type of RF box. PS3 thing here. Sorry, I'm just sure. This is what this is what happens when you don't look through things ahead of time. Okay, I think this is Atari 2600 game, Barnstorming. Another Atari 2600 game, Decathlon. And a ColecoVision, a mystery game with no label on it. And other than that, something I didn't even see in here. There's actually 4 Nintendo games in here. Marble Madness. This is a game that I got actually for my birthday many, many years ago during the Nintendo days. And it's a terrific game. It's a really hard game. It's a really short game. But it's got great music, great graphics, and just an all-around unique and interesting game for the NES. Gogol 13. What can you say about Gogol 13? If you haven't played this for the NES, then I really highly recommend this game. Top Secret Spy. Top Secret Episode. Gogol 13. One of the most, I think, underrated games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Attention Vindicators, which is interesting because Vindicators was a game for the ColecoVision. That's pretty interesting for me. I don't know if you really care, but yeah, that's a game that was actually made for the ColecoVision. And Legacy of the Wizard. I never played Legacy of the Wizard before. So yeah, there we go. I mean, other than that, hold on. I'm going to turn this camera off and I'm going to come back, see if I can find anything else in this bag, because it's full of just garbage. Okay, so we didn't manage to find that Pokemon game in there, but we did find this Seahawks helmet and this 15-year-old snot rag in there. So, that's it. $20 for that bag of bullshit. And, I'm going to wash my hands with lack of thinner now. Okay. Enough of the jokes. Here we go. Let's head over to the game shelf. So we got 4 new Nintendo games. So we'll put them on this side because our high-powered magnet's in the way. A bunch of PS1 games we got to add here. Alrighty. You know what, I'm just going to put these in here like this for now. Okay. This will give you an idea. Okay. 2 ColecoVision games. Fantastic. We'll put those right in the middle there. Flip them upside down. Actually, 3 ColecoVision games. I guess we'll have to find out what this is. And 2 Atari 2600 games. We'll put those there. And we got this Pokemon case. I guess we'll just throw it in here for now. Maybe we'll find it someday. And that's pretty much it. Slow and steady wins the race. And here we go. Our cabinet is gradually filling up little by little. I'm BitHead 1000. You just tuned into the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization. I'll see you next time. getting back to Billy, who was a really good friend at the time. Billy was one of these guys that was like an early developing kid. He was like, you know, talk about late bloomers. I'm still waiting for my pubic hair to grow in. Billy was like, he was like a full-blown man shaven at like 13 years old, you know? He was already like, he was like really strong, real muscular kid. He used to carry, he was like a badass. He'd wear, you know, the denim jacket, you know, like we were all either denim jackets and you know, with patches on the back, you know, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue patches on the back. And Billy used to carry around a chain. He used to carry around a fucking chain, like it was Streets of Rage or something like that. He used to carry around this huge chain. And I remember we used to go down to the bridge, and the bridge had this like concrete railing, and he used to hit the concrete railing with the chain, and it used to break out a big chip, and it would make sparks. It was like, you really didn't fuck with Billy. And, you know, because he had that kind of, that childhood where he kind of raised himself, man, he was a ballsy kid. And he was getting laid, like, before anybody was supposed to get laid. You know, he was just like, you know, this little testosterone-filled monster. And, yeah, as it turns out, later on in life, Billy shot a man, and he shot a man in a wheelchair. Some grimy deal where, his girlfriend, I think his girlfriend at the time, knew this guy and that had kept money under his wheelchair. And I think the guy had like $5,000 that he kept in his wheelchair there. And Billy tried to rob the guy. And I don't know, the guy put up a fight. I don't know how a guy in a wheelchair could put up a fight. I remember reading about it in the newspaper. And he shot the guy, killed him. And that's it. Billy's rotting in jail. That's the end of him. It's amazing, huh? It's amazing to see, you know, the different paths people take. But I mean, you kind of, listen, you didn't expect much from Billy in life, but I don't think anybody expected that. But anyway, when we were kids, Billy was a good friend. He used to look out for me a little bit. You know, if I ever had a problem with anybody, you know. So, you know, what are you gonna do?